Hi, Bill here, 223 nationalities, and I've been like being pigeonholed or boxed or labelled. There's a nice word for you, labelled, you know. There's all sorts of labels, you know, like, well, some of them will not go there. Labels, but some are not so good. This is Bill here at 223 nationalities on the road to Christmas. We're looking today at a particular idea of, well, generation, being labelled, you know. People would say, I belong to the baby boomers generation, as in from 1946 to 65. And that means we're prone to loyalty, company, working with others, teamwork, as opposed to individualism. Because we've been influenced by the passage of time through war and difficulties and hardships. And of course then you've got the Generation X, and you've got millennials, and then you've got the Generation Z. Interesting, millennials were first called Ys. Generation Y. Anyway, but that was changed because most Generation Yers became adults at the turn of the century. So they changed the idea of Generation Y to millennials. Huh? That's nice and a bit cooler than belonging to Generation Y. But all kids ask the question, why, don't they, when we're growing up? And we get influenced by the answers and the culture, and I suppose it's socialisation. I'm going to need to go quick here. Socialisation, the impacts of the society around you, like religious background, family background, laws, country you're born in, school you go to, your teachers, your friends are all impacting you. But in actual fact, the game plays out the way as well. It's how you relate and impact them as well. But do we like pigeonhole people, you know, where they're from, what they like, and how they fit into our little understanding of what they should be like or what they could be like. So we call them by different generations to start with. And even the way people work today, they're pigeonholed by, you know, belong to a generation that now works from home, you know, a generation that works with computers, whatever is efficient, whatever's got the job done individually. And whereas previous generation, if you skip one back, they were post or pre-computers, working with computers as they first came out, then working with individual computer handsets, mobile phones, communication, all different changes, and depends which category you fit into. But I want to look at this word generation just for a few seconds. In fact, let's read a couple of verses from the Oxford English Dictionary. You know, I'm sure you thought I was going to say the Bible. I'm going to read from the Oxford English Dictionary, and it says a generation. It says all the people born and living about the same time regarded collectively. 2, a set of members of a family regarded as a single step or stage in descent. We might come back to that one. The action of producing or generating, the propagation of living organisms, procreation. Generation, a single stage in the development of a product. And then, of course, there's interesting things like the generation gap, you know, a difference in attitudes between people of different generations leading to a lack of understanding. In other words, you don't understand me, I'm younger than you, or you don't understand because you're so old, you know what I mean? Hey, I like what a pupil once said to me, hey, Mr. Mac, you know, you're young at heart. Cheeky beggar, right? Anyway, moving on. But there's Generation X. I like this Generation X. Listen to this. It says, the generation born between the mid-1960s and mid-1970s, perceived as being disaffected and directionless, yeah? I'm going to stop there. Directionless and disaffected, you know, I'm not really bothered really which way it works out, doesn't work out, you know. Maybe lacking in some loyalties as well, or there was quite a few extreme groups of loyalty during that period, if I remember rightly, but directionless. So I want to hang on to that because it says in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 1 and verse 1, here up now, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. No, it doesn't say that. It says the son of David, the son of Abraham. And then it goes on to say Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas, and Judas and his brethren, and it goes down and down and down and down, and away it goes. Well, the point I'm saying is this. There was 42 generations between Abraham and the birth of Jesus. And the journey to Christmas is not a directionless journey, regardless of what generation you're from. It doesn't matter whether you're in the boomers, the X generation, the Yers, the millennials, or Generation Z, Z. It doesn't matter which generation you're from. Christmas is a direction. It's a direction towards a person, an event that can be stated in time and in space, an event that took place. Hey, I'm going to my son-in-law's. I'm going to my son-in-law's shortly. It's my grandson's birthday. So he's 14. So Granddad has to take 1 or 2 presents to remember when he came into this particular generation that he's in. Generation Z. Woo, So, sounds, but not as cool as Generation X, But it doesn't matter what generation you're born into. The most important thing to know is that you're on a direction to Christmas and a direction towards new birth, new life, new hopes, new dreams because of a child that was born, and his name was Jesus. On the road to Christmas, December the 3rd, Christmas soup for the soul. Regardless of what generation you are or what age you are, you're on a journey, you're on a direction. Yesterday we talked about walking. The day before we talked about boxes. Today we're talking about the generation and the freedom to become, because we're moving forward. Not pigeonholed, not labelled, not categorised, but people who are experiencing life, and a life that God offers to us through his son Jesus Christ, born at Christmas. Well, we call it Christmas, don't we? Born at Christmas. Hey, have a good day. Good talking to you. Thanks for being with me on the Christmas journey. Hey, what generation are you from? Well, how do people label you? You should look it up. What's my generation supposed to be like? What are my characteristics? Don't matter what your characteristics are. God loves you just the same. God bless you.